Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's fireside chat, where we will explore the soft signage market and a new soft signage solution from JK Group and MS Printing Solutions, part of Dover Industries, Italy. So joining me today is David Dragone, Product Development Manager for Digital Inks at brands JK Group and MS Printing Solutions, part of the Dover Industries, Italy, and Matteo Forte, Product Marketing Manager for JK Group and MS Printing Solutions brands as well. So thank you, Davide and Matteo.
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you very much.
So just to kick off, I'd like to talk about what inspired the new solution and kind of what sets it apart from other signage printing solutions on the market at the moment.
Starting point is always the willingness to deliver better and improve proposition to the market. So we do work with these principles always in mind. So we are an innovation company. So we are here to innovate, and so innovation never stops till you reach the perfect product. And knowing our customer perfection is kind of difficult to reach. So that's why we are here, and we have a job, so to keep improving the proposition. Then honestly, I do prefer to maybe focus on ourselves more than saying that what set apart our position versus competition. So I can tell you that all our innovation have always customer at the core. And what we know that our customer always prefer, especially in the soft signage world, a complete solution. And we are one of the few companies in the world that can offer you a complete solution when you go into the soft signage world. So we do develop internally our printing machine. We do develop internally our ink solution as well. And we do also have software development that helps you boosting the performances of the two elements combined together. So this for sure is a unique things that we can offer. Without forgetting, of course, the simplicity of having one supplier that can always give you all the answers that you need, that can be a partner for you the moment that you do need to develop your own business. So not only that, but the fact that we do own all those different technology, and we are in the digital printing business since it started. So since forever, basically, help us in developing one of, we believe, but if not the best, a very good and great solution that can deliver the best on different principles. And the combination of these principles together can even outperform. I mean, it's not the sum of the three parts is not just three, but it's three plus something else. And this was just very high level introduction. But then if we go more into the details, we specifically decided to focus on sublimation type of offer within for the soft signage application. It is limiting ourselves, but because we prefer to say, okay, let's do something at our best, and then we see how much we can explore it in the future. But now, for now, we are focusing on that one because we really want to bring it up to its best, having the heritage and the history of our JP4 brand. That is a machine that we are selling. So the core of the machine is something that we are selling since more than 10 years. And our K1 offer of inks, that is also an ink that we are selling since 2014, if I remember correctly. So we started from there. So something that we know perfectly, and we try to optimize it for the signage solution. And how we're doing that? We are doing that because we first of all, we focus on one application that represents 50% of the market based on what we know. So it is a very good one, and then it's also one of the easiest one if you want to start with that. And how we deliver on the performance that we do have everything. We produce everything in Italy and internally, so we can also keep track of quality. Both at machine and the ink side. So because quality is not only important because you want to deliver. So as a customer, I mean, if I take the perspective of the customer, you want to deliver a good product, but you also need to rely on the fact that if you do not have a machine that performs up to your standard, you will have issues because you cannot produce. So then you have problems, you have cost, but without getting the profit, and so on and so forth. So that's a little bit what we are focusing on, very generically, but I think that we can go more deep into the different points later on during the conversation.
Okay. And is the new solution based on that customer feedback that you talked about? And what are the key priorities for your customer? Is it that reliability? Is it speed?
Yeah, based on what we know, when we talk specific about soft signage, we for sure have reliability and replicability by time. So the fact that color needs always to be spot and precise and perfect. So that's for sure one. Of course, productivity is important, but it's not per se one of the most important one. They rather focus on, so if you need to put on a trade-off, you rather focus on quality and outstanding of the color, brilliance, and this kind of stuff, rather than the productivity itself. Without forgetting that also our customers are for doing business, so they do need forming machines. So it has a very good speed level, very high level of productivity. Of course, depends on the setting, on how using the machine, but we are talking about an industrial production machine, of course. But the moment that they do need, so when we interview them and they have to pick up the first and the most important elements, is always quality in terms of printed quality and reliability, because what is also very crucial in this kind of business usually is the time to market. So you need to be sure that you can react and deliver fast to your customer. So you cannot, if you cannot rely on a machine that you know the moment that you're going to do the production will deliver on what you need, might be a challenge. I'm not sure if Davide, you want to add anything on this point.
No, absolutely, completely agree. Quality, consistency are the two key that are allowing customers to deliver what they need. And this particular business, soft signage one, is tremendously time related, because when they get the order, is gonna be good and fast.
Yeah. Okay. So when you think about, how this new solution as an end-to-end solution will benefit the print service provider, what would you say? It's about that repeatability, but will it also, reduce operating costs and maybe improve efficiency?
Well, like briefly introduced already from Matteo, the concept of quality reliability are together the two things that are delivering what the market needs in this specific field. To give an example, producing and controlling the supply chain, both machine and inks in Italy, is a tremendous advantages. To give you an idea of the quality control we do on the inks, for example, first of all, we did invest a few years ago in a state-of-the-art plant that is fully automated, so the possibility to mistake is very narrow. And overall, we recently count this. Our quality control involved between raw material, chemical, physical test, and application jetting test on our own machines. Every batch is going down 19 control before getting released and making ready to sell. This is 19 controls. They pass through a huge amount of effort, but these are the only way to guarantee the necessary consistency in color, in viscosity, in jetting properties. Those are the things that the market and our customer needs to deliver their production. And this is, in our opinion, at the moment, our key element compared to others. But anyway, we are known to be extremely consistent from every point of view. So printed with our systems today, tomorrow, and in 6 months with the same design, we'll deliver the same color, the same image, and the same quality.
Okay, brilliant. And in terms of sustainability, then, where does the new solution sit? And how do you, achieve greater sustainability without sacrificing that all-important print quality and that repeatability, consistency?
Well, again, first of all, operating in digital printing is already, kind of sustainable because it delivered time to market and on demand, so no more necessary of lost stock and things like that. This is one point that make it sustainable, the solution. The second one is the huge amount of effort we put in regulatory and certification that are somehow windows to expose the sustainability of the system using raw material that are good for main certification needed in this market. And also from the software point of view, we recently developed, like Matteo was saying, some booster, that meaning software that develop lower amount of ink to produce the same image, working on contrast and on special algorithm, we did it. So the whole things together are making the solution sustainable. Also, in general, sublimation, generally speaking, because the more and more use of recycled polyester and the paper that is being recycled after the printing is a pretty sustainable solution.
And another point that is good to highlight is doesn't mean that we are the most green company or whatever, but whatever little things we can do, we do. So, for example, the fact that we decide to focus on a dedicated solution with sublimation, with water-based inks, already, I mean, allow us to not use other type of technology that we know that are less sustainable. So, like, I don't know, for example, in soft signage, we know that UV ink quite good inks often used to get very brilliant color, and it has its own advantages. That I'm not saying that is a bad solution at all. I'm not saying that at all, but it is something specific. But we know that water-based ink for sure has better type of sustainability type of features. So then when we make choice, we always try to take this one into account without compromising on the quality and the output that we need to deliver, and on the innovation side. So sustainability is like now our way of doing development and innovation. It is always in the requirement. So it's not that, okay, if we can, we do it. No, let's start on that. So it is in the requirement. We need to stay up to a certain level of standard, and then the innovation needs to be built in order to deliver on those kind of stuff.
And Davide, going back to when you mentioned printing on recycled polyester, is it as reliable as printing onto virgin polyester? What kind of tests have you guys done there? What have been your findings?
We did test in the last at least 1.5 to 2 years, a huge amount of different polyester, recycled polyester, typically for GRS circuit. We have also data that, if you remember, we presented last October and within exhibition in Como, that the usage of recycled polyester in the last 3 years went up 600% in terms of volume compared to before. So, and then at disadvantages of the regular polyester. Sometimes there was challenges to follow from one polyester recycled and another, but generally speaking, I can say out loud that dye sublimation with our technology on RPATs is proven technology with no backup if the polyester is the right, is a good quality. And there is no drawdown, main drawdowns on this. I would say that this recycled polyester that is imposed in the market is taking the technology very good.
Okay, brilliant.
And the trend is continuous in more and more companies in both of signage and other application are pushing on recycled polyester use.
So you expect the demand for recycled
absolutely
to increase still? Yeah.
Hands down. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And if we look at dye sublimation ink a little bit further, I know, Matteo, you mentioned it as a more sustainable solution, and it is, as we've discussed, a good all-rounder when printing onto polyester. But traditionally, it hasn't had the best light fastness. Does your solution, your inks, overcome this?
So that's a very good question. So first of all, just to clarify, I did not say that it's the most sustainable solution, because we know that, I mean, it's difficult to say what is the most, but what we know that is a very sustainable solution, that's for sure. So it helps you to deliver on your sustainable type of targets. Then specifically to your question, you're right. I mean, light fastness has always been an issue the moment that you do need to print with sublimation ink, especially on transfer paper. Therefore, I mean, we do have in the end, and this is just one of the examples, but we do have different type of inks in our portfolio in order to deliver to different type of issues, or better call them needs. of the customer, and we developed a few years ago a dedicated family with a very good highlight fastness. If I remember correctly, here we have our R&D guy, but it is above 6.
Basically, it goes for regular dyes mixture approach with there are a couple of colors that are around 4 in the blue wool scales. The solution we presented a few years ago that is from our J-Tech brand, and the product is called J-Lux, is delivering an ink set that completely with 4 color is around 6 on the blue wool scale. That is a huge improvement when it comes to half tones and basically outdoor application. I'm telling that is performing like a regular pigment, no, but definitely is a huge step forward to improve the customer needs.
Yeah, and so we have here the R&D guy who will say 6. As a marketing, I would say from 6 to 7 actually, because the guy delivered a very good job. So it is very good performing type of product, especially if you want to do outdoor type of signage material. So we do have few customers that are very happy with our proposition. No, that's it. I just wanted to add the marketing part to it.
Also, for example, is not for soft signage, but for rigid signage, we developed last year a Printed United. There was the launch, another mixture of dyes specifically for rigid substrate from Chromolux, company that is doing aluminum coated. With that solution, we proved to allow a dye sublimation aluminum coated framed 10-year outdoor resistance, bulletproof. So again, not only the dyes, but in this case, there was also a lot of work from the company we did the job with, but we went further where with dye sublimation, nobody was before.
And we have this luxury as again, because what I said in the beginning, owning both the 2 main pillars, let's say. I mean, we own all 3 pillars, but now focus on the printing machine and on the digital inks that you need to print. Owning all the technologies behind these allow you to make the extra step, extra miles, especially when you are a company like us that we do not very often talk about customer, we more talk about partners, because in the end we need to allow them to have the best technology in order to make business. It helps us because I mean, if I don't have a solution as a printing machine supplier, maybe I can compensate for that with the ink solution, or the other way around, or I can also use the software to boost the performance without making any compromise, because it is fully dedicated to the machine and to the ink. So then together they deliver the best. And also from what, like, it's a nice joke that every customer / partner always make is that, I mean, if they have one source of truth, in the end we cannot blame anyone, because if I blame the ink side, I'm blaming my right hand and the left one. So it is difficult to say that it's someone else's fault if you own the full technology.
And Davide, you mentioned Printing United there. Will you guys be there this year with the soft signage solution?
Absolutely. We will be there from next week on Wednesday. And we're present there with a soft signage dedicated solution. You're right.
Well, I think we're at the halfway point now, so I think it's a good time to say to our audience, if you have any questions for Davide or Matteo, then please feel free to use the Q&A function on Zoom, and we'll get those questions answered for you. So going back to the inks, soft signage requires quite a high ink laydown. How does your solution kind of improve on that need?
Well, there are a few ways to improve this. And first of all, one thing to be said that our inks, generally speaking, are all quite concentrated compared to the average, okay? This means already that the ink lay down to obtain a certain color can be more or less, but generally speaking, not that much compared to other, because the concentration of the dyes and let's say the power of the formulation itself. Secondly, the paper use and the release from the paper is another parameter to be taken under control. to be eventually even more specific, if it's needed, we have a dedicated series that is even more concentrated than the regular one, than the K1, that is called K08. The one in case can be used on demand. And this is another role. And also, like mentioned before, software-wise, we were able to develop technologies in order to nobilitate the output with the different needs that are from a customer. Could be, lower the ink down, could be improve the color yield without compromising the consumption and therefore the cost. So the software help together with the chemistry in order to do that. Also, we're cooperating more and more with paper producers in order to work together and develop the best results. If you think about it, recently, the trend of the dye sublimation is also to lower down the weight of the paper to reduce cost and also decrease the impact of the whole system. Naturally, printing huge amount of ink on very light paper is not that easy. So at that point, the chemistry of the ink becomes fundamental. That's what we do.
The chemistry and the software that you use in order to optimize and
make them.
Yes.
And if we move on to the soft signage market more generally then, in 2023, obviously the textile industry is going through a really challenging period at the moment. How is the soft signage market faring in that? I know COVID, obviously, the soft signage market took a big hit with events being postponed or cancelled. Have we recovered from that now? And also, I guess, in terms of regional breakdowns, for you, have you found that North America still has the highest demand for soft signage, or is there other areas that are cropping up now as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good question. I mean, I'm not sure if we can say that we are fully recovered yet as a market, generally speaking, but for sure you start seeing a very positive trend after, I mean, of course, the COVID periods, the COVID years, where, of course, I mean, this application was one of the most impacted by the fact that you could not meet in person, you cannot do fair, and most of the events were happening online and this kind of stuff. So definitely there was a huge impact. Now we do see that it is getting again more and more attention, but of course in a different type of world. I mean, the world we do live now, 2023, was, even if might be that the need, the production, everything is up to the standard of before 2019, before 2020, sorry. Still the type of question, the focus, the needs have changed. So you mentioned a few times sustainability, so something that, yes, was present, starting to be interesting already a few years back, but not as big as today. Or the fact that you do not want to overproduce because you want to be sure that you are flexible, so that you can just produce only what is needed without producing too much because you don't want to waste, or because also you want to reduce the mistakes, so you really produce just what you need. So this kind of stuff, of course, have exploded in the last year. So this is something that is different despite the market being the same. And talking about regions, of course, North America is one of the biggest, but we do not have to forget also Europe. Europe, it is again, especially North Europe, it is a huge market as well for us. Maybe not as big as North America, but it's still for sure increasing. So it is. We do see these trends more or less everywhere. And if we talk about our proposition, we mainly focus in those two regions, even if we do have presence and we do sell our machine, of course, globally. But for us, the two most important countries for soft signage, of course, are for sure North Europe and North America.
Interesting. Because Europe is more known for, I guess it's especially Italy is known for its fashion applications. How much of, I guess, that market do you think soft signage can obtain?
Yeah, we're talking about two different type of markets, honestly. So it is not that easy to switch, but in case we do support also our customer in helping them to make the switch, or if they do need to have the kind of feedback, the knowledge, so we can help them for sure. But we are talking about, in any case, two different markets, so it is it will be weird because of the type of inks, the type of technology, the type of printers that you use might not be the same. So
yeah. We do have an audience question as well. Is it possible to print on 100% cotton material with this solution as a lightweight material? With
Actually, I'm sorry about it, but dye sublimation on natural fabric is not working. There was experience back in the days with, you know, some specialty coatings you may find on the market that it works a little bit, but overall, my technical opinion,
So what would you use on the cotton instead?
pigment. And so talking about the solution that we do have, naturally on cotton, you can print pigment, you can print reactive, and so we're going in another world. And the main thing, if you compare the process easy as the sublimation, the first thing that comes to my mind is printing cotton with regular pigment. We recently developed for ITMA a brand new solution for that do not require any pre or post treatment. That's maybe what this audience is looking for.
Yeah, again, too humble. It's a patent pending solution. This guy developed a patent pending solution, so completely unique in the market, that allow you to forget, if you want, about all the pre and post treatment, so that you do have one machine, one solution to do the entire job. And that is not only more flexible, but from a sustainability point of view, it has a huge impact, because if you forget about all the chemical used in the pre-treatment and the water needs to wash afterwards and to fix the color and everything, it is very solution, without mentioning the energy needed to operate all the other machine that you want to use, that you need to use in the other step of the process.
I think you answered the question well, because they said thank you very much. So for that, and thank you for your question. If you have any other questions around that, the cotton solution, then please do feel free to get in touch with me at mthomas@wtin.com, and I can pass that on to Davide and Matteo for you. So if we finish off with then your expectations for the future when it comes to the soft signage market and digital textile printing.
So as I mentioned in the beginning, as per today, we are focusing on one specific application, that is the soft signage with transformation paper, or with rigid, semi-rigid type of fabric. For the future, what we want to do, for sure, we will extend our offer in order to have, again, one of, if not possible, the most complete offer in the market, both from a printing type of solution and from an ink type. So that's what we will for sure focus on from an offer point of view. Then talking about the single type of products and propositions, I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, sustainability will always be at our core. So we keep working, delivering the best type of solution in that direction, without forgetting about quality, because quality and reproducibility and yes, so it is needed. So our customer keep shouting about this, so they do need to have something in that direction in the most efficient possible way. So we know that is a pretty complex technology. So the most you can simplify in the fact that you do not rely too much on different elements, different factors, but you can simplify from that point of view, from a process point of view. It will always be nice and appreciated. So we are working towards this kind of direction for sure. Plus, of course, if possible, looking at whatever else in any other business in the world might be developed. We always keep an open eye, being part of a huge company like Dover. The moment that we have the possibility of any type of different technology that It's not yet used in our application, but yeah, if we see some value, why not embed it in our position as well?
Exactly. Well, thank you both of you for your time and for your insights. And thank you to our audience as well for listening in. The video will also, if you didn't get to catch it all, will be available on demand on WTIN.com. If you do have any other questions for Davide or Matteo, again, feel free to email me at mthomas@wtin.com and I will pass that on to the guys. So thank you once again, everyone, and take care. We'll see you next time.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you,
See you,
Madeline.
and see
Thank
you
you.
at Print United.
Yes, see you at
Everyone
Print
will be
United
there.
next week. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.